And the first to begin with, you guys needs to know about the database, how we're going to register our user, the first name, last name, email and password to our database. So if you guys can come here, if you can put a local host, and when you guys going to put a phpMyAdmin, that's what the website opens. So it's a phpMyAdmin. So even I'm going to write it for you here, it's a when you guys going to put a local host, and then you guys going to put a / and then you guys going to put phpMyAdmin. So you guys looking here now again, is this got a my because it's MySQL, and it's got admin. So phpMyAdmin, there is another software which host this SQL here. So for example, if you now I'm logged in, but if you guys not logged in, you guys gonna see, say for example, only the local host and phpMyAdmin, you guys gonna see the login page. So phpMyAdmin, so I want to go there, but I'm inside the website, so I shouldn't be inside the website because I should be here because I was using that before. I logged in, that's why it still remembers me. So when you guys gonna come here, the first page, you guys gonna see that there is a username and there is a password. But keep in mind, I'm not inside XAMPP, I'm here inside the WAMP. So that WAMP is currently active. But if you are inside the XAMPP, and make sure you guys start this one, put Apache start, and this one is start MySQL. XAMPP and WAMP at the same time can host one local host, because if there is a WAMP is on, because WAMP has got similar service, if this is on where there is a green here, W here, WAMP is green. When it's red, it means it's off, but when it's green, you guys have the option to start all services, stop all services, restart all the services. That's exactly true here. Then if you have a start and they have a start, you can start Apache, you can start MySQL. You have the option to start any of these at any given time. But when you guys gonna come here, even if you guys here in the XAMPP, you guys can still come here and put a local host. Just put a phpMyAdmin. Don't worry about this index.php, because by default PHP goes there and looks for index. Even if you don't type index, it's gonna go on the index. This is the index of the phpMyAdmin. So this software called phpMyAdmin, and we as a programmer, we gonna look at all the phpMyAdmin. We gonna connect this database, whatever we have, to this one. How cool is this? So we connect this one, whatever here we have first name, last name, email, password, favorite here, whatever user puts it, we put a register and it gonna come here. We are not going to do it again. We are only going to do only once, because the user needs to do only once and that's it. When the user do this, then we have to, as a developer, has to make sure that the user is going to type the same email and the same password every time the user visits our email, without even, if the user is going to come again and again, then we should tell the user, look, you already registered. Say if the user called here Mr. Donald Trump, if the Trump's coming the next day and try to register, then we should have some sort of mechanism that, hey, Mr. Trump, you already registered in our website, because the name you're putting here is matching in our database. So it means it's here. The name of the Donald Trump is going to match. So when the name of the Donald Trump matches, it means that Donald Trump's going to only do once registration. The Donald Trump's not going to do every time the Donald Trump comes in and approves registration. Then what happens, then we're going to authenticate whether is it Donald Trump that whatever he says he is. If he is a Donald Trump, real Donald Trump, then he's going to come in and register at our website. If he's not, then we are not going to let anyone, because anyone can come and pretend to be Donald Trump. So if he is not Donald Trump, then they don't know the password. They might not know the email. They might know the email, but we need to put some security measures in place so no one can log in except the Donald Trump. Alright, so that one's going to come in your way. So you guys going to learn how we're going to authenticate and how we're going to put our data, how we're going to put it inside the MySQL. So now we're going to come here and says, when you guys says root. So when you put a root of the tree, it means this belongs to you. when you put a root, it means you're the owner, you're whatever. You guys, you can do anything with this website. You can modify this website, you can delete it, you can do whatever. But if Mr. Joe Blow comes in the next day and try to be rude, the website is not going to let Mr. Joe Blow in, because this website belongs to you. So if you put a root, just put a root, and once you put a root, and if you don't put a password, but if you got a XAMPP, then if you got a XAMPP, and when you start this one, make sure you put a root here. Even if you put a XAMPP, and when you put a password, is your password. So I type the password here, this word. So when you have a XAMPP on, and you can put a root, and you can, this is root, and this is now with your XAMPP, you can put a one password here. So this is whatever here. So if you look in here, it says MySQL MariaDB. Whichever you choose, that's fine, because there is a slightly difference. MySQL, as I said earlier, that the MySQL was, the creator was Michael Vaidenius, and he named this one as a My for his daughter's name, because his daughter's name was My. And he's a Swedish company, and he's Swedish because that's not English. In English, my means something that belongs to me, but in Swedish it says it means something else. So don't be confused. It says MySQL that because it belongs to me, MySQL, MySQL, but it's not, because Michael Vaidenius was Swedish, and MySQL was invented in Sweden. So that's why he put his daughter name was My, and that's what he named it MySQL. The story goes that MySQL was purchased by Sun Microsystems in 2008, where this Michael Vaidenius, he created this company with his friends. Then Sun Microsystems bought this company for $1 billion in 2008. And what happens in 2009, the Sun Microsystems was taken over by Oracle company, and Oracle is a company that holds at the moment Java. So Sun Microsystems had the Java and MySQL, the two very popular open source softwares. And as soon as Oracle comes in, Michael Vaidenius quickly went there, fork out this MySQL, and created his own database called MariaDB. So MariaDB is totally open source. Same goes with the MySQL. MySQL is very open source. But if you guys preparing to make, say, a big website like a Facebook, stay away from the MySQL, because if you guys doing for testing or for small projects, that's pretty much fine. But if you guys going big like Facebook or Twitter or something like that, then you make sure you guys use MariaDB, because MariaDB is open source. Even this MySQL is open source, but Oracle is in the habit of charging people, like they're charging Java Enterprise Edition. And MySQL, you don't know, one day if you're very popular, or your website is very strong and popular, and you have hundreds of millions of users, subscribers, then MySQL is going to turn around and says, hey, Mr. XYZ, now you're as rich as Facebook, now you have to pay me money. But MariaDB, no, MariaDB is still popular. MariaDB is very popular among open source programmers. They're never going to charge you money. MariaDB, like say for example, Facebook still uses MariaDB, Alibaba is using MariaDB. All the big major websites are using MariaDB, to your surprise. And but doesn't matter, because we're only learning, we're only doing small projects. But if you're doing my small project, it's not going to make difference. But even if you have a website, that if your website, like say for example, even if you have 50,000 users a month or a week, then it's gonna make this website MySQL is pretty much fine. It can handle that many traffic. But if you have, say, like a Facebook, where in 1 hour there is hundreds of thousands of gigabytes people's uploading and uploading photos and videos, whatever, then you guys are going to be in trouble with the MySQL, because you guys need to quickly jump in MariaDB. And MariaDB and MySQL is quite similar. They're very extremely similar, because the creator of this MariaDB is also the creators of the MySQL. Or you can put it vice versa. The creators of the MySQL is also the creator of the MariaDB. They only works the same, except when you guys bring the server, you guys need to put a MariaDB server, and then MariaDB server, and then when you guys go to MySQL, you should put a MySQL server. That's it. That's the only difference. So now, without further ado, we're gonna go here inside, because now we are at WIMP. You guys just need a root, and you guys don't need a password. But if you guys here in XAMPP, you guys need to put a root, and you guys need to put a password here. And when you put a go, then you guys gonna come here. This is your database. This is what I was talking about. This is where is it's very dynamic, it's very powerful, and it's open source. So in the next video we're gonna go on the all the basics of the MySQL. You guys are going to see here new, and then you guys are going to see there is some sort of containers here. What's this containers? I'm going to tell you what is this containers. And when you guys going to see here, this is phpMyAdmin, because as the name says suggests it's phpMyAdmin. So here it says that the general settings, appearance setting, it says the database, SQL status, user accounts. It says that export, import, setting, replication, variables, char sets, and more if you put more engines and plugins. And if you look in here, the database server MySQL 127.0.0.1, keep in mind localhost and 127.0.0.1 is also the same. So this is the IP of the localhost. So here it says server type MySQL, server connection is SSL. SSL stands for secure shell. So SSL is not being used because you guys don't need it. It's just local inside your own computer. As you guys can see, even my internet is not on. So server version is 5.7. MySQL community server is GPL, and protocol version is 10. And user root as local user, because if you guys remember, we put a root because now the website is going to come in and it says, look, this is a root and this is the owner of my owner. So MySQL now knows that you're the owner, you're the one who run the show here, you're the one who knows how to operate MySQL. You are everything here, so you are the main administrator of this website. You can choose who you're gonna let in and who you're gonna say work with. You can choose how you're gonna connect your website, which is that's our social networking website, to this database. Because when you guys create your database here, then you guys gonna connect all the tables, all this here, first name, last name, all these fields to here. We're gonna need to connect it. So if you look in here, it says phpMyAdmin version. That's a version. That's if you want to read the documentation, official homepage, contribute. Then we're gonna say get support, list of changes, and there's licenses. It's very dynamic, very cool database server. So make sure you guys familiarize yourself here. For example, we're going to explain to you guys how you guys are going to change the password, server connection collection, and when you guys are going to leak it here, we're going to see all sorts of Unicode here. But that's our discussion for the future. But at the moment, you guys need to know that the server MySQL is running on the port 3306. You guys don't have control over this. Your computer does, but when you guys get very advanced levels of the PHP and phpMyAdmin, and if you guys becoming like a computer scientist, then you guys gonna understand it, why this there is a port here in 3306, because the HTTP uses the port 80, and sometimes they use a port 88, whichever port's not busy inside your computer, and is very dynamic. It goes to port sometimes the guys running servers, sometimes MySQL goes on port 3308 or 3306 or 3305, whichever ports free. So but it has a default port, and this default port is the server MySQL 3306. So the MySQL inside your computer uses the port 3306 here on top. This is the, if you guys say, for example, you guys gonna come here and using one of the, say for example, Salon. That's our database that we created with when we were doing the bootstrap. So if you guys want to come here inside the Salon, you guys going to see everything here. So here if you guys want to go and you don't know how to go to the main page, you guys press this one. So this one takes you to the index, which is the home page. This one is for exit, is a logout. This one is for help, whichever help you guys need. This is for documentation. This is for setting, and this is for refresh. So when you press this, it means the MySQL is going to refresh. Sometimes you don't need, because sometimes you're going to delete update our table, and you guys need to refresh this one. And when you guys press this one, it means it's a get out. So MySQL is just like a Microsoft Excel. It's got all the rows, and it have all the columns. but MySQL is very dynamic, and it's called the relational database system. So what is relational database system? This is the relational database system where when you guys create all your columns and rows, then you guys going to create relation between the tables, and you guys create relations between even the databases. You guys can create a relation between anything. So keep in mind, we have two types of data. We have ordered data, we have unordered data. The ordered data is this relational database because it's in order, and we have unordered, which is like photos, like images, like what the users post. That's unordered relation, that unordered data. And many other databases like Hadoop, and there's a big table, whatever, inside with the Google, they handle all that sort of unordered data. But because we are here at MySQL deals with ordered data, because MySQL is not dealing with unordered data. There are another databases which are the big massive databases that handle the unordered data. Like say for example, if you guys want to create a search engine, then you guys need to go on say unordered data. You guys can use the MySQL for your search, because that's in a search engine. There is going to be like hundreds of millions of going to be the photos, which is unordered, which is going to be noises, it's going to be songs, it's going to be, say for example, the user is going to stream, the user is going to do a lot of things which is going to come and occupy this MySQL. But that's when you guys going to do the search engine. But if you guys looking create a e-commerce website, if you guys looking to create a social website, or if you guys looking to make it like something like Alibaba, JD.com, or if you guys making something like Amazon, by all means, this is the website for you. This is the website for you. This is where everything, all the magic happens. This is where it remembers everything here. You guys can do all those sort of things here that it says on top. And that's our discussion. Is going to be our discussion for the next video. In the next video, we're going to go through this one by one. We're going to see that what's the database, SQL, status, user accounts, and then we're going to show you guys the command line. How we're going to go through my command line, because there's different ways to access the MySQL. You guys can access through the Windows command line, command prompt, or say command line, or CLI. This is called CLI. In Windows it's called CLI. In Linux and Unix it's called command line. So it's called CLI. So in Windows it says command prompt, and in Linux and Unix it's called command line. So but they are the same, they work the same. So then we're going to show you guys how you're going to access and how you're going to create the database, how you're going to create your MySQL through this command prompt. How cool is this? You guys don't even need to come here. You guys can do it on the fly. So most Unix programmers that I know, most of the big top Unix programmers, they're gonna come and use through the command line. They hate coming here and looking at this GUI. But that's where you guys, when you're gonna get very advanced with advanced levels. But for now, we're gonna use this one, and then in future we're gonna go and see the command line, how we're gonna do your command line. And even when you get more advanced, then we're gonna go on the something called MySQL workbench. So once you get to MySQL workbench, then it means you guys are going to be very advanced. Alright guys, that's it for this video. If you guys have any question or comment, leave in the comment box. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, and bye.